Man, you make Ford look good, man. Like
Jesus.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Wagwan.
what it is though. What's up?
Hey.
Not gonna finish the lyrics.
That's what I ain't gonna lie. When that song came out, that was my jam. I had no idea what they was talking about, but I love it.
And that's sweet.
Yeah,
I see it.
and she just you gotta have that one sister that just turns the world upside down. I'm the one that's just gonna be like, no. Like she just like, honey, I just don't think that's
Not today.
no.
I'm not getting any type of
No?
Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Pull up.
Ooh, okay, trying to share the phone.
I finally watched that movie, Free Guy.
Free Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That took forever for me to watch it.
That joke was nice.
It was a very good movie. I didn't expect it to go in the direction it went.
Yeah.
Good morning.
It's a little deeper than I thought it was going to be.
That's how I feel about clickbait.
Clickbait is wild.
Clickbait, I did not like until the end. I was like, I don't know, because I don't know who I would like. Oh, I'm turning the volume off on that. I was like, I don't know who's guilty, Jesus. Like, I'm just sitting there struggling, like, who did it?
He faked his kidnapping or death, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I tapped out.
But it was like he went live with it and spread it across like the city.
But like, then it turned real serious.
It was serious?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was a movie.
Right.
Yes, it's serious.
Right. I thought it was a movie. Like,
man, I just can't.
Like some things just should be one and done.
But no, I actually like the suspense of the movie, like the series period.
But if you do a series like that, how do you keep it going?
Oh, they wrapped it up and that was it.
Right. That's no
It was
point.
a Netflix one and Eric quick.
We gotta keep these things going.
So that's why I sound like on the radio.
I forgot what was lying.
It's weird, man.
I can't get my I can't get this.
How my sound on anything just sound weird.
Might be resolution issues.
My voice,
It could be, but I would assume that it would be the same.
Gotcha.
Because the voice I hear is like the voice at the bottom, at the bottom of my throat, gone right to my ears. But the voice that come out is different than the voice that I hear. Because the voice I hear is the voice that's inside me. The
voice that I hear.
Because in the voice that you hear, like when you like if you record something, that's the voice that came out of you. So like that's the voice that got went through all the atmosphere and all that. Just sound different.
I get it, because in my mind, the voice is a lot daintier, and it's not. Listen to the radio. I was like, oh, she got some gruff in that up. All right.
I feel like I don't forget about the words. Right?
I'm like, I might have to put on the cute boot voice on the radio now. Hey.
Yo.
Nobody likes to sound like. I don't know why they just accept it.
Right, I need to sound like Big Girl Chronicles the intro, not Big Girl Chronicles the Big Girl.
What? Yo, I'm bad. Yo.
I'm just going lay myself down right here.
No, because you ever watch like those catfishes where like the girls sound real dainty on catfish, like on the phone on catfish,
and she's like.
And she like 450, and she like, how you doing? Sound like Baby D. All the new snacks coming out.
Do the Humpty High.
Like she know all the good snacks.
No, for real.
All the one and glitter come out. Like that's what it sounds like.
Hold on, Shaq.
No.
That catfish voice, like.
No, I was mad because. Watch a catfish, and 2 episodes straight was the same chick. I was like, yo, what the freak?
No, there's repeat offenders. There's one one chick that has been on Catfish like 5 times. She has catfished 5 dudes.
I'm like, yo, she.
Yeah, and she big. Like, she big.
The Lord said I give my gifts without repentance.
Yo, that's crazy.
She like,
and she got different people.
like she has catfished like
she got
5
different like accounts.
Yes, she said she had
man.
over 100 profiles.
That's low key. That's psychological, yo.
Like she like a good 475. Like
my thing is,
and they had attitude.
She
right, had a whole attitude about getting caught again.
People that she like thinks she is.
Every time they go to that city, they already know they're looking for her. They're like, yo, I already know who it is.
Like real talk, they had a catfish where all the people she catfished was in one room.
Coming in. 5716, your boy Big Frank, like in the Big Frank in the morning. What it is, what's up? I pray all is well with you. Listen, it's going down this morning. It is 10 minutes past the top of the hour. Currently 21 degrees on the outside. But guess what, y'all? It's a good day. Nevertheless, in the building, I got my girl Jay Cherie.
You know.
Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Kevin's in the building.
Yo.
Definitely a vibe, man. Definitely
It's a
group.
vivid.
Oh, we back to the vivid.
It's a we can't let vivid die. We
No, how y'all feeling this morning?
It's
Feeling good. Feeling good.
It's too
Feeling good.
The club turn up
I'm blessed.
on a
Let's get it.
Tuesday.
But that's because they rich.
I ain't gonna lie. I used to only go out on Tuesdays.
No fact.
It was ladies' night at this bar that I'm not gonna say because they don't pay
Yeah.
to have their name put out there. But just go there and have ladies' night every Tuesday. Well, I was just go and dance. I was out there like Kanye, just wanted to dance, just wanted to
Just
shout.
wanted to dance because the song says if a man that can dance with the two. I'm just saying the song.
It's just like in theory, I'm like, I get up like 5:30, 5:45, come to the station, go to class, go to work, study. Oh, a Bible study. So like in my mind, I'm like, I'm not gonna see my bed till like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
What is it, bed? But a piece of fabric to be there when you want to decline. Okay? But definitely, I'm going to get to excited for the conversation, the content, because we're talking about what we're talking about. So
about to argue.
No,
I was gonna say a word.
when we get back, we're gonna get to the Big Girl Chronicles. It's going down right on fire. 7162 boy Big Frank in the morning. I'll holler at y'all. Peace, love, and so I done said goodbye already. We be back.
Peace out, y'all. We just got here while we leaving.
Peace, love, and soul.
Well, this was a good 30-second show. Thank you for joining in.
I said goodbye. Hey, y'all. Hello. Goodbye.
We're going on tour.
The crazy thing is, like, prepping the show,
Yeah.
I be forgetting the titles of my Big Girl Chronicles. Because I literally say that, like, sometimes it's first download. People don't be knowing, like, it's first download. So I just be like, what did I tell you it was?
Yo.
First download, I'm telling you. But I did start putting them on TikTok. We're kind of just a decent amount of viewers. Some people like 300 people saw it. 200 people saw it. There is a TikTok I need to do today, though.
Join your girl for a live
Y'all have
conversation right at Je ne sais quoi in the city of Buffalo.
And I'm not a TikTok person, but I was just like, for real guys, like I'm grown. I don't do TikToks, but like I keep seeing this TikTok in my head. Good morning, little brother, Julian.
Good morning, Julian. Y'all, good morning.
I know this is crazy. I'm actually gonna be in Rochester the next couple of weeks, little brother. So I'm gonna reach out to you because I gotta come see you. I gotta go see my family.
Reach out to me.
Reach out.
I feel so bad. We spent this whole time talking about these N-words that Samuel Jackson got asked for
For the first time in what?
You see how sit down to the That's my fault. I think you got a focus. I can look at it.
Yeah. Ever. Like it's read the sheet.
Where?
Second one.
Under hot topic.
Because,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo,
Crazy, eh?
boycott.
At this
that's
point,
a
we don't
real
have no
thing.
choice.
No, for real.
Because
Like,
we ain't gonna be invited next year. So if you haven't turned into a boycott now,
Boycott by default.
right? Because
But if we say we go boycott now, they can't Dan is from it. So it'd be like,
Right.
he's like, oh
We
god.
just need to put this into action right now.
That sounds like a real black people thing. Like, yo, we about to get fired. So
It's gonna be hashtag Oscar so confrontational. Like,
Crazy.
I had to put it on my Facebook because I was like, let's change the narrative a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was actually like, but I was happy that his homie was the one that presented it to him.
Gotcha.
I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm coming, little brother, in the next couple of weeks. Because at the end of April, the radio station is the only thing that's gonna see me. Because that's finals week from Amazon. So many people told me you need to work there, and I was like, no.
No. See, I don't work for Amazon.
Okay.
So my workload is different. I don't have a lot to do. Like, I just maintain the building.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they got us on such a strict schedule because the Amazon employees are so nasty. It's like, yo, we're not cleaning up people peeing in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not doing all of this. So what's gonna happen is we only clean in the bathroom 3 times a shift. That's it. But our workload is a lot lighter than Amazon work.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I can't believe. You know what? I'm not surprised because like when I worked for the J of Target, for the J of Target in New York City, I remember Black Friday. The cashiers in the electronics section cussing and coming to the front because, first of all, I told my customers, this is if you hear, you in the room, you in the room. I told my customers, don't go to Black Friday to get the TVs, wait till Christmas because they're cheaper. And people were like, I'm telling you, wait till Christmas because the TVs are gonna be cheaper. They listen. So Black Friday, all the people there for TVs, there was a line. People got mad that the line was so long. A dude straight pooped himself in the line because he didn't want to lose his place. And a lady peed herself. Because they didn't want to lose their place in line for TV.
Never been this serious.
all you had to do was listen.
And then they came back
Let you know.
around Christmas.
I wanted to buy the Switch.
And the TV was cheaper. And I was like, and you, now I'm going to know you as Poopy Dude because you didn't wait.
It makes no sense to me. I wanted the Switch. I waited a year and a half before I got it because I'm like, every time I would go to the store, it's always sold out. I was like, that's fine. It's not that serious.
I stopped going to Black Shop Friday.
I only went Black Shop Friday
One time.
And I went one time. I was outside. Nobody does what I do. Okay. I went to the suit store. Okay. Nobody was in the. I say nobody. No one. Thank you for my two suits. Thank you. No. I ain't at 9 o'clock. I gotta get that too. I ain't gonna get with it.
Yeah.
You know, for real.
I was just like, I went twice. Once it was like with like my dad, and then I got a toaster, like because the toaster was like $5. The second time I went, when somebody pushed me into a glass door, I said, "This gonna be it," because we in the suburbs, and I'm able to yank the person that just pushed me. Like I was on the glass like this because they was like literally pushing like people. Somebody got trampled, like an older person got trampled because people was pushing them in. But like my dad just said, "Oh, Black Friday, the Black Friday sales. You know, we gotta get it because he wanted to get me a smart TV." I said, "Wait for Christmas. Just trust me." And he was like, "You should."
Real spit.
And he waited around Christmas, and that smart TV was only $200.
Went with my mama. We spent most of our time in JCPenney's. Makes sense for me. Makes sense for me. And I went like with like my cousins, but even then, like.
Morning,
it was after Thanksgiving, and I was like, I don't feel like really going home. You know, let's just hang out. Y'all going to the mall. Okay, let's walk around. So that's what it is. You know, I wasn't bumping into nobody because I wasn't in a rush because I didn't want to buy anything.
But it's not like Black Friday anymore because they would open up the stores like 8 o'clock on Thursday. Like Black Friday, you had to like wait in the cold at like 2 a.m.
No, I never do that.
Never will I do it.
I would never be a hype like that.
I've only done, like I said, I did it twice, and it was both with family.
I don't care what Jordan.
We was taking turns of who was sitting in the car because I was like, I don't do the cold.
I don't care what Jordan just come out.
Right, Julie. He says too many people for him, and that's the thing. I'm not fighting over Jordans either. Like, see, I got that problem with Chucks. I never had that issue with Chucks. Like,
You just order
I just order Chucks. Like, and when they run out, they're gonna be back in stock in like 2 weeks. I just don't have that problem with Chucks. Like, I can get any pair of Chucks I want at any time, and I gotta fight nobody else.
The only sneakers I've been sipping over is the J. Cole drink.
Morning Poot. I was about to call her by her nickname. Morning Naraya. My God.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
She was at church the other day.
I know.
I was like, hey, what's up, girl?
Yeah. Does she really though?
No. Nobody had their eyes on me.
Every day. We get to do the recording every day.
Hi.
Wait, J. Tree, it's on you, 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 it's on you.
What's good, everybody? You already know what time it is. It is Big Girl Chronicles. And on this terrific Tuesday, I'm going to just use that. On this terrific Tuesday, we are going to talk about Act Like a Lady, Think Like a question mark. So, Netflix is getting ready to take off Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man off of Netflix. And I kind of just wanted to watch it again to really understand the concept because I refuse to read the book. I have no books in my life, so I'm not going to read the book. But in the theory of the movie, it was talking about, act like a lady, think like a man. But when I actually really observed this story and to tell women to think like a man is nearly impossible, you are setting yourself up for destruction in doing so, even though Steve Harvey, based on the movie, gave some very interesting points and things that you need to take into consideration. But as women, when we read things and we digest them, we alter our behaviors and we maneuver. So in the theory, you're acting like a lady and acting like a man. Because at the end of the day, the whole sports fish and the 90-day rule and things of that nature, you become the person that you're actually reading against, except for the whole mama's boy thing, because I don't quite get the concept of dating a mama's boy. But we have to get to the point with ourselves as ladies that we have to understand that you cannot think like a man because a man's perspective is always going to be different from a woman, and trying to manipulate the system to get a man is just as manipulative as some activities that men do to try to get a woman. We have to get to this place where we have to understand our role as women. And I'm not saying, oh my God, you got to be submissive. No, understand that you act like a woman and think like a lady. Because when you are acting like a woman and thinking like a lady, you're being on your grown woman behavior, but you are conducting yourself as a woman. You know when a woman needs to leave a room. You know when a woman needs to exit a conversation before you come out of character. You need to think like a lady. Think like a woman and act like a lady. Trying to get yourself in the mind of a man and then trying to manipulate somebody to get into a relationship with you because you have a quote unquote playbook on how men work. You're doing the same thing that they're doing, and you're actually being a hypocrite. You may not like me today, and that's personally okay, because I got friends. But I just want to get you to the perspective of understanding that thinking like a man is not something that you're actually going to be able to fully achieve because you are a woman, and God designed you that way unless you're transgender, and this conversation isn't for you. So in this edition of Big Girl Chronicles, be yourself.
Yeah.
But think like a woman and act like a lady because you're beautiful. You're intelligent.
Fact.
And you're graceful.
Fact.
You're a big girl.
You can't beat me. you try to think like you attempt to. And the person that attempts to do that has had several failed marriages. Just now doing
Good morning, Josh.
Let's learn the sources, okay? Let's not take everything.
He always like 16 marriage. So but no, I get the concept of understanding don't be a chirp girl where the man just chirps at the car door and things like that. And I understand having a standard. Like I totally get that, but in a sense, you are manipulating the system to try to get a man, and then when you get him and it don't work out, it's kind of like, well, all men is dogs. No. You were a manipulator because you read this book.
Be a tree. Okay, you do the wrong thing. Okay? Be nutritious. Be valuable. Be worth something. Let's not do the tree. Let's go on down. When we get back, we're getting into the question of the day. What is your definition of cheating? What's your definition of cheating? You don't want to go nowhere. We'll talk about Will Smith later on. We're going to get into that conversation. But stay locked in to Big Frank in the Morning, right on 5716 Let's go. Let's get it.
Hey, fiery fans and followers.
Yes, it's like your nails.
Everybody, you
I like your nails.
I
I be trained.
Make sure if you want to advertise, holler.
Professional nature, control and more.
But no, but like that kind of stuff gets on my nerves. Like, and I never read the book personally because I was like, I read enough books, but I didn't want to read a book about, you know, oh, act like a lady, think like a man, because you're not gonna be able to, even though this is all put out like the 90-day rule. If I was not saved, I would believe the 90 days. But like,
My thing is,
certain stuff like you can't put yourself in a man's position no matter if you want to or not. Steve Harvey just gave good notes, but it's kind of like you still can't actually think like a man. Like, it's just stuff to think about and talk about, but it's like you can't think like a man for real.
I got you.
Yeah.
and that'd be the thing, you know. Should they? I don't understand. My thing is, you are more valuable as a lady than you are going to be as a guy. So, you know, you're more valuable as a lady than you're going to be as a guy. Your value trying to be like me is dropping your value for me. And like, the more you're trying to do it, I'm doing. Like, unless, you know, I'm not talking about like sports or nothing, because you know, we all
just be yourself.
Right.
That's it.
Stop trying to analyze. Be who you are. Because you're gonna try to.
You'll be like Billy Fox on To the Way That Game, and then at the end of the movie, you're all sad because you're like, dang, you know, I was doing all this extra stuff, and then, you know, dang, I didn't get the man, but then he came, but then he was like, you know what? I need to chill. I'm just gonna have to be myself, and I'll walk into this again. And then, you know,
just be yourself, and what's for you is for you. You know, be cautious, be aware, but just be you. Like, because anything less than that, whatever.
you're cheating yourself.
Like, we couldn't. Every man isn't the same. You can't, like, just like every woman isn't the same. You can't put us all in the same box. You can't put us all. This my 90 days might be like the Lord's 2 hours. You know, 1,000 years is like.
He said something like, "You have to require the ring." Some guys you're not gonna get a ring out of. Like, if they don't want to get married, it's not going to matter.
He's so counterproductive because you don't think how slow he is. Because of the way he said, "Oh, you gotta be ready for the ring," but then you tell the same woman that, "Oh, the man is not gonna give you the ring until he's financially secure. It has nothing to do with you."
Correct. Facts.
So there's, "Oh, you require the ring. You can require it all day long, but if I'm not secure financially or in my bag or feel like I can handle this, it's not going to happen."
Right.
Like, come on, Steven. Roderick, I thought his real name is. Yeah. I watched that. Oh, that's my name, Roderick. You shouldn't talk about that.
Shouldn't have said that.
Roderick. All right.
But no, like stuff like that. It was like, don't hate the player, change the game. You can't change the game if a guy just wants to be a player. Like,
No, for real.
My thing is, you know, you're gonna meet somebody who a player, but he's not that good at it. So then you're gonna think you're good at it, but then you're gonna meet somebody that is good at being a player.
Mm-hmm.
And you ain't gonna know that he's being a player because he's so good at being a player. Because that's what real players, they real good at being players.
You're real
And
good.
then now you stuck.
No, real good. Make you believe
As the song would say, now you're blessed and stuck and you can't get loose.
Fact. So how do y'all define cheating? Infidelity.
The Bible says
Lord.
that if a man look at a woman and covets the woman, he has already done adultery. So technically, looking at a woman and being like, dang, I'm trying to smash, it's cheating. But in their words, you know what I'm saying? Cheating is a mindset change.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
Cheating is a mindset change. And then, you know, you got your gender things where how men take things, how women take things. But cheating is a mindset change. Once you put in your mind that you like, I'd rather be with another man or woman, like you're already on the cusp of cheating. My thing is, standing on the fence in a relationship is a bad thing. Just like with God, you can't serve both of us. Like you either gonna have to be on this side of the fence or you gonna be on that side of the fence. And if you're on the fence, for me, you're on that side of the fence. So, you know, it's a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. You know what I mean? It's a mindset thing.
Julian says someone who's in a relationship already and they got a side piece.
Mm-hmm.
But Avery and stop.
Hey,
Isaac had two. Let me stop.
Kevin, how you define?
This could be a sensitive subject.
No,
I'm just playing with you.
nah, you good. I love you.
If I gotta put
Not
the block out.
sensitive. Just close to home. But me, if I'm not going, I'm a physical person.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I'm a physical being. Like I like holding, hugging.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I get my affection from.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, cheating for me is a physical act.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which
Talking,
I get.
having conversation, depending on how the conversation goes. If y'all exchanging pictures and all that, you're cheating. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just having conversation, but the conversation is a little risky, it's on
Right.
it's on the fence.
It's on the fence.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like
You ain't did nothing.
I ain't went nowhere.
Right.
Can't nobody say I went nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Here.
I'm home.
That's
You got my time.
And you know what's crazy? No disrespect to any woman, but some women really
I feel
don't.
disrespected.
Some women really don't get that. My mind could be 12 other places, but the fact that I'm at the house should be, at least to me, I feel it should be enough to say that I'm not doing nothing. You see me. I was like, every time you see me, I'm here. Like I'm not. Every time I leave the house, I come back to the house. If I was cheating on you, I would leave the house, not come back to the house for a while, and then I'll come back to the house. You know what I mean? Because my mama lives downtown, and I ain't got to waste the gas going to the city, and then I'm always back out here. You know what I'm saying? Real spit. You know what I mean?
People are cheating in the car.
Oh, that's true too. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is like how Kev said, you know, yes, definitely is a physical thing. Like you could, I don't care who you talk on the phone with, who your friends are, or whatever. You know what I mean? The fact that you come back home, you cook, you love on me, and we sit and watch TV before we go to sleep. Like who cares? You know what I mean? Like, no. Now if you going out having intercourse with somebody else, you know what I mean?
Now we got some time.
You cheated. Now you cheated. You know what I mean? Because at this point, you done gave yourself to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mine and be somebody else's. So, like, you know what I mean? Unless you're into that kind of thing. But
polyamory.
But me personally, I'm not really down for it. I'm not down for it. I'm not really down for it. You know what I mean? I don't live in the Old Testament. I can't have 3 wives. Plus, I know I can't really handle that, so I'm not even going to try it. So, like,
Lamar did.
Hey, that's a black man with very, very strong ideals. He could probably how he feel about himself. How he felt about himself, he need like 6 people to hold himself up. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny, the school that doesn't exist.
That don't exist, yeah.
So let's not do
that. So it went to a dowry.
Jax, how you feel about cheating? Define it for the people.
Emotional investment in somebody else. If you have emotionally invested yourself in someone else while I'm in relationship with you, nigga, you cheat.
I got a question.
And then obviously the physical, because like I can't say if I saw somebody else and was like, yo, that person back in like that's cheating, because I have been in a relationship and saw somebody else that looked handsome and was like, wow, okay, but I wasn't cheating. I was just admiring the fact that you were gorgeous.
Right.
But emotional cheating, I feel like sometimes emotional can be a little bit worse than physical, because like emotional means that you gave a part of you that I only had access to. Like, and not to say like downplaying a man banging somebody else would not be like hurt me, but like you emotionally gave yourself to somebody, something I've been working hard for, something I've been like trying to be there for you, and you gave that away. Like, to me, that's a form of cheating that hurts. Like, I mean, if you cheat on me physically, I ain't gonna worry about you because you won't be here and I'll be in jail. But like, But like, no, in emotional
We do not condone
situation.
violence.
I'm kidding, y'all. God delivered me. But no, like emotional, like I think emotional cheating sometimes does lead to physical cheating. But like to emotionally give yourself to somebody without the physical act is still painful.
I have a question.
Yes.
What if you had a friend already before that was like, you confided in that friend from time to time, and then we got into a relationship, and I still talk to you and confided in you, but I still confided in my friend because that's who you still confided in that you.
You gotta read.
Do that count as emotional cheating? If that was our relationship before we got into a relationship?
I'm gonna tell you why. It depends on the caliber of the person that you're talking to. If that person's like long term, you're about to go to a place, there has to be a readjustment period for longevity purposes. Because if they didn't feel like, oh, you're more open, and I get it. I got female friends who've been there through the stages, okay, and where I confided in them more so than I did my companion at the time. That's only because, listen, you may not last long term. I don't know what it's gonna be, so they know. They already know me.
Right.
From a friendship point of view. They've been here for years. You just new to the scene, so this is gonna have to be a type of development. But when I got to my wife situation, the storyline had to flip and change. I had two friends who was like sisters to me, ace boom coon through it all, like whatever. But based off getting into marriage, I had to readjust that because me running to them for help or assistance or direction to help me takes away from my help me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it snatches away. So you're gonna have to readjust. And if you can't do that, you're gonna have a lot of challenges. And then she's like, "Oh wait, you weren't over there talking to her all the time." They're taking note that you're on the phone over here. They're taking note that you texting over there, and they're taking note that I'm right here, but you're not talking to me. So all those components come together. Like for me, I believe in the mental mind, and I said this. Men cheat different. A man can go have sex with a woman and have no emotional connections. This is just for the bang of the experience. It gets scary with women because they have the potential to do the same, but for a lot of times they become emotionally attached. And now you're dealing with the mind, the mental, how they think. So a man thinking in his heart, so is he. So the way that you think concerning the situation, like he said, on the fence. We will all become, I'm going to use this word because I feel deep. We all come to the precipice of having to make a decision.
Yeah.
Not saying that temptation isn't presented. Because temptation is presented doesn't mean you've cheated.
Right.
It just presents itself. The decision you make, for example, to see the young lady who had the big back, so I walk one woman and I look back, ooh, she bad, she got it. It may offend my wife, but I just said it was beauty, it would be good to look at. Now, if I then decide to go project myself over that way to now make the woman that I sleep with now, in my mind, to look like the woman I just saw, now we're talking about infidelity.
Right.
Now we're talking about something far bigger than just, oh, that was a nice Cadillac with a good rims, with a good sweat. Now we're talking to something different. I think in these components makes a difference when you talk about cheating and infidelity, because to be present and to be absent at the same time is a hurt feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're here, but we're not connected.
And even bubble back into what something Frank said, even with his marriage, like perceived cheating can be just as almost as bad as cheating.
Yeah,
because like
I ain't got no time.
Because like when he got married to Tyra, I had a conversation with Tyra.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is brother sister shit. But I also try not to like,
listen, pause. I want to tell y'all right now, as Christians, when we talk about the relationship, and shit, I would encourage you not to use that word because it sounds just like SHIT.
Oh, okay.
It just flows like that.
Sorry.
Proceed.
This is brother sisterhood. Like, this is brother sisterhood, and I said, but I'm respectful of you, so I'll try not to call after 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll try not to have conversations with him late at night. And I asked her, was she okay with our relationship? Because some women, they may not be. Some women be like, because me and Frank have a closeness. Some women may be uncomfortable with that. And I was willing to pull back as his sister to make his wife comfortable because I'm not about to make my brother uncomfortable. But I feel like if you don't have those conversations, presume cheating.
Yeah. And then that's something that and I'm a little different because I'm like, that's when you that's not I mean that's when you gotta deal with that. Okay, you got.
But I've been like that because I'm like, you know, because like, you know, Jess is my sister.
The same thing with
and everybody else, you know, like they like Sarita and all them, like those, that's family to me. You know what I mean? So if a woman and then a lot of people, my sisters and them, I don't see them every day. I don't see them all day. And then when I do see them, it's whenever we go somewhere, or we do something, or like we at an event, or we doing something together. You know what I mean? Which for the most part, I'm not doing with my significant other because I'm doing it with them. So like she will not, like for the most part, she won't ever get to meet anybody unless she either come with me to these things, or you know, we run into each other, or we run into each other randomly. You know what I mean? So like I'll talk about them like who, you know what I mean? But you feel insecure about my relationships with these people when I told you that, like, these are like my sisters, like these people that like been,
so I'll say
like,
this,
took me on a journey or whatever.
But one of your exes I was friends with before
Right.
y'all started dating. Your other ex after that ex, I had that conversation with her. You just didn't know about it because, like, out of respect.
Yeah, I think I get it, but
out of respect, because like I'm pretty sure, like when I get married. Yeah, me and Frank are still super cool, like we're super close. We work at the radio station together. But I know out of respect, Frank may be like, yo, I'm not gonna call my sister at like 10 o'clock and be like, yo, could you do this? Your face.
Because this is my thing, because it's my responsibility as a man to make sure my wife feels a certain type of way.
Right.
To a degree. Because at some point, I can't always adjust your insecurities all the time. Because for example, let me just walk to my household real quick. Let me go read those comments. Frank is Frank. Been around a long time. Frank is oil runs here. I'm a pastor these days. So like talking to people, connecting with folks, in my face. This is a part of my life. So there's a level of I need you to, for me to make sure that you feel okay to a degree, but you also within yourself that make sure you feel good, and don't make threats that's not threats. Right. Don't turn something that's nothing into something. Like legit. Like, granted, there's my sister, I have other sisters as well. Don't make them an offense, because some things you perceive and you put on yourself, or you let other people perceive for you, that you got to know. Listen, if I told you this isn't that, and I'm giving you no info to feed you into that. Come on, let's go. Let's get about it. We'll read those comments.
So Courtney said it's the behavior that I wouldn't do with. Hold it. It's the behavior that wouldn't do with my wife present. I consider it cheating. I used to set different levels and stuff to it, but I found myself always changing the limits and boundaries to benefit. And then Julian asked, question, can cheating be generational?
Yes.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
Because
I can tell you about my family.
the only reason I said it can is because if it's a behavior that you learned from childhood, and you learned it from your granddaddy was a cheater, your daddy was a cheater. I kind of do feel like unless you are the generational curse breaker, it's a learned behavior. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be, but it kind of is.
I come from a
but no, after something that you said though, even though I think this is where women and men are different, because real women and men are different. Let me preface that, because even in relationships, even though you are Frank, you are pastor number 2, covenant fellowships and whatever, as a respect thing. From a woman's point of view, there's certain things I shouldn't be calling you 10, 11 o'clock at night unless it's an emergency. Like there's certain boundaries that I feel like women should have, like because in male women relationship, there's boundaries you should have.
I understand that.
I understand that, but for me, what I says, it doesn't make me never mind.
Right.
Whenever you call, if I've told and I've told those people, if I open myself up to you, whether you gonna call at midnight, 1 or 2. We're not walking. My wife, she's gonna be right there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have any disdain or disrespect can consider for you calling about, especially as a prayer person. So like, there's certain limitations that you got to set in your household with you and your spouse. Like, is this a violation of the code for y'all? because it's not for everybody. I'm just using that one particularly only because you brought it up.
Yeah.
But there are certain, okay, listen, but if you can't accept my wife, you can't accept me.
Right.
And that's another conversation. That's because that's not even just in church and in what, that's just in life in general.
Right.
If my wife can come, but I can't come, why not? We got a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Now saying that I got to go, and I say I want to be there. Okay. But the invitation to be able to go, oh, you're going to do a whole lot, but I can't. Oh, okay.
Like, I'm a hugger. You know? People I see, especially if I see them in a while, I hug people.
Yeah,
How I am. You know what I mean? Like,
no, definitely. But I think boundaries are necessary.
I do think boundaries are necessary because there was a time, and like I said, there's a time unless it was outside, it wasn't emergency. I could call you at 12 and be like, yo, bro, this idea just. I can write the idea, see you in the morning because it's 12 o'clock and it's not an emergency. And it's not like even with Tyra, I don't have a tight relationship with Tyra. I have a very cool, cordial, hey girl, how you doing? What's up? I'm buying stuff for the babies. But like I would never, in my mind, if it's not an emergency, nobody need to be calling you at midnight when you're married. Even in ministry. Ain't nobody calling me at midnight. My phone on do not disturb it. But like certain things, like if it's not an emergency where you would casually do, like I could have called Daniel 11 o'clock at night. I know he got a boo. Granted, their situation is not the same anymore, but like I'm not gonna call unless it's an emergency because it's a respect thing. And I think because of the casual, relaxed nature of guys, sometimes they don't see like, oh, that's not necessary.
That's a fact.
Sometimes it is.
A lot of things I'll be like, I really am like, so. Like, okay, whatever. What's a big deal? You know what I mean? I'll say nothing about your friends calling in the middle of the night when I'm in bed and now y'all having a cold conversation about A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I ain't gonna complain about it. Know why? I don't care.
No care.
Right. I don't care. Just if I am going to sleep, I really don't care. Like real spit, like Frank always said, I watch TV, I'm gonna watch TV in the front. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to the front and watch TV. You want to be on the phone? Guess what? It's three TVs in this house.
Because we men, as much as we don't know, we know when somebody that stepped into a place.
Oh yeah.
We don't say nothing, but maybe we don't know nothing. What? 716, your boy Big Frank. You like the Big Frank in the morning. It's going down this morning. It is currently 46 minutes past the top of the hour. It's currently 23 degrees on the outside. You like the Big Frank in the morning. Jay Cherie, Black Knight.
Yep.
Boy, Kev in the building. Conversation, the question of the day is this. What is your definition of cheating?
Let's cheat.
Listen, if you're not following us on YouTube and Facebook, you do yourself a disservice. Download the app for those who are on here watching us. Fire716 in the app store. But if you're on the app, go like us and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. Okay?
Because we are hilarious.
Facts. No, so the conversation is right now is what is your definition of cheating? Give it to him real quick. Starting with my boy Dark Knight.
Cheating for me is definitely a mental thing. It's about picking and deciding. Especially lately, I've been real big on making decisions. If you make a decision to be with someone else, that is cheating to me.
Kev?
It's a physical thing for me. If I'm with you 24/7, if you know what I'm saying, if can't nobody inbox you and say your husband just left my house,
hey, I ain't doing it in the coffee.
I ain't cheating. If I'm not sending no nudes, if I'm not receiving no nudes, I ain't cheating. If I'm having a conversation, you know what I'm saying, I'm not cheating.
Yeah.
If I go to her house, I'm cheating.
Emotional and physical investment in somebody else. It's cheating to me. Because if you give me yourself emotionally and I can't get access to that, and I'm not adamantly getting on your nerves about it, like I'm just being supportive, and you just emotionally open up to somebody else, and then you smash. Oh yeah, you cheating, right?
Yeah, I think that once you mentally, emotionally get attached and your behavior changes towards me, and it's like, oh, say less, say less, because now I've identified that there's been an interference,
right?
Whether it be him or her calling him her, him, her, him. There's been an interference. Okay, all right, and I'm going to just observe. Okay, and your behavior thereafter. Okay, say less. Right. Say that.
There's a meeting in your bedroom. And you are in a relationship with somebody else. You are cheating.
Like, that touch a little different.
I know.
Okay, because when your mindset changes, your behavior begins to change.
Yeah.
It's a subtle thing.
You ain't never had Jim's phone number in your phone before.
Listen, you like the big Frank in the morning. When we get back, we're gonna get the hot topic. You know what we're talking about today, y'all? Will Smith. Okay, he's the topic. He's the trigger point for this show. Will Smith. We're talking Oscars. A hot topic. So much more for you guys. Listen, if you want to advertise, 716-371-2780 extension 2 advertisement. We got a package going for $7.16 per commercial. You want that benefit? I can show you how it can be done. How that mean? It's going down, y'all. Coming up, we got Genuine, Keith Sweat, and Post Malone right here on fire. 716 Big Frank in the morning.
You know, I'm gonna say something.
Erica says, if I cross the line into secrecy from my spouse, it's leading into the realms of cheating.
No, facts. I got to hide.
Well, no. What are you hiding?
Because hiding, that's a fact.
Like, what are you hiding? Because if I'm putting mad money aside in a secret account, that's not cheating.
It's true.
No. Watch how dumb this is. This is how dumb the dumb folks is. No. There's no need for a secret.
There's no need for that.
Tell them, babe, I know we got a thing wrong. I'm putting money aside for just, all right, do your thing. Because everybody want to hide.
Unless it's a surprise.
I ain't gonna lie.
Unless you're the mismanager of money, and if I give you access to it.
Absolutely.
I'm the type of person though that I hide things without meaning to hide it. I just don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just don't say nothing about the things I'm doing because just like my father and the fathers before me. You know what I mean? You know, I just tend to move.
We just move with nothing. He's talking about moving with when meeting, and I know exactly what you're talking about because I can pull up the scenario. I got roasted. I didn't plan to go over here.
Never planned to do it.
I didn't plan to go over this way.
I purposely leave my day open for anything to flow into it.
When I tell you the story about the day, and I bitch, why you over there? What you doing over there? Why you tell me you going over there? Because I didn't know I was going over there.
The reason why I said when it comes to money, because I have viewed it, somebody who is terribly a mismanagement with money. If I give you full access to our funds, and I know you will mismanage the funds, I'm not going to put ourselves in a predicament where we may be homeless or get our car repo. So I'm going to have something to the side, just in case you make poor decisions. We're not going to be out here embarrassed and looking crazy because you made poor decisions.
But now this is a twofold situation.
Yeah, because I ain't going to lie. That same mentality will also make it seem like you don't trust me to take care of you as a man, and now that I feel I can't take care of you as a man, I don't feel like that I'm justified to be in this relationship because I feel that I do not have any real thing holding me in this relationship. Because if I can't provide and be leaned on, why am I?
What am I here for?
I'm a pause here for number 2 because while you trying to put money aside to hide, if God requires it, I guess we got to use it. Because nothing about being a person of faith. And sometimes faith will put you in a predicament where you got to use all that you got to get it. But you hold back the blessing because you got a side pocket. You're not willing to surrender. Now I'm not telling you that you can have a side pocket,
right?
Because you get maybe I put money aside. Just okay. Listen,
and so my savings.
I understand because the person that mismanages funds, no, they mismanage funds. So therefore, a conversation, maybe I can completely understand that makes sense to me. Do it, okay? Sure. And I don't need to know nothing about you. Ain't got to bring it up again. I just know it's boom, whatever. Okay.
So you want to know that exists?
Yeah,
without knowing what's in it.
Just because it exists, don't mean you need to have access.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, you can't. So I think you got to hide the pocket. Every grown woman. Granted, no. I got a side stash. It's a side stash, and it's just in case. But listen, no, I'm not getting all right because but you got to have the mature conversation.
Yeah.
You don't manage the money well.
Right.
But now you better tap into God. Right. Because if He requires it, drop it. Okay. Don't be side pocketing, holding up the miracle. You're trying to keep the side pocket.
Hold up the miracle. No, I understand that. I understand that perspective. I stay corrected because I totally, like I said, I've been in situations to watch completely mismanagement and risking being homeless because you got money, hoes, and cars.
But
And
at the same
like,
time, at the same time, as a help me, it is your job to be like, yo, bro,
make sure
what you trying to do? Nah, that's not a good idea. That's stupid. No, we're not spending money on that.
I told my wife,
Sometimes
I
you
said,
got the right to be like, hold on,
I
try.
need, when I got it, when I got it. But when I ain't got it, I need you to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So if I'm short
And not have a problem with it.
and not have,
Like,
listen to me.
You can't be upset that you know your person is the way they are. You're their help, and you get frustrated.
Being the help.
Come on.
no. So as a woman,
Repeated
I will
behavior
say,
gets annoying.
I will say this. Because me and him have had this conversation
Repeated
multiple
behavior.
times. Like we've had this conversation multiple times. First, I'm gonna read the comments and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. I don't need Courtney says I don't need access. Just knowledge that it's there. Okay. Derek says the mentality sets you up for failure in marriage. If you already are planning for failure, you're doomed. I just want to read the comments. So me and Frank have had this conversation because a current family member of mine does not always articulate when things are getting ready to go bad.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, if you know ahead of time, like, yo, I may not have this, say something to me. Don't wait until the cancellation notice date to be like, I got it. And Frank was like, well, dudes be like, no, I'm trying to do everything I can to try to make this work. But if the cancellation date is in 6 hours, I need you to you could have gave, and I said this to the family member. If things happen and things shift.
Right.
I appreciate everything that you're doing for me in this present time of my life. But if you don't have it or you think you may not have it, let me know in advance so I have the opportunity to work on filling in the gaps.
But my thing is, I'm not thinking I'm going to have it because I projected that set location that I got money en route that should have been here by now.
Right.
But it's late, so I'm going to try to push it to the limit. Worst case scenario, I'm making a phone call. Listen, I know where we at right now, but can we? Because y'all think I'm playing. Y'all know
No, for real.
You guys all put like
what's today? To the edge of the due date. There's over thousands due.
Come on.
Work it out, God.
Work. That's
No, that's me. I'm in the fake season of my
You
life.
are.
I can't tell everybody to be like, Frank said.
Wait a minute. Erica says we were created to be the help me. Help being the key word. Yes, just I agree with that. Don't wait till the lights are off. He's like, I don't want to buy those shoes if I know we're gonna really pay some funds. And that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes, like, for you, it's a different season.
For you,
it's like, no, but God will tell you what season you in.
Oh, for sure.
Like, God will tell, like, clearly I'm in the season where I can't work. Like, that's just the season I'm in. But, like, with the present person that's helping taking care of me, if you know that, like, oh, shoot, a double payment was taken out of my account by accident, I'm not going to have it. Give me that notice so I can go do Uber or Lyft for like 2 days and come up with the balance.
Right.
But just don't put it in a situation where it's so last minute and then it's just like, oh, I ain't got it.
There's no recovery.
Now you can be to help me. No, because now I have to try to figure, and then it's not I will ever tell a man, oh, now I try to help you. But it's like, now in my mind as a woman, as your help me, what can I do to fix it now? Because now we're at a time clock. Right. We got till midnight. Right. You coming to me at 11 o'clock telling me at midnight this is going to happen. What can I do? And it leaves us feeling helpless because now we can't be the help me that you asked us to be when you couldn't do it. Now we're trying to do it.
Right.
Like,
which I totally understand because men in the same way feel that way when you ask them to do something and they're like, yo, that's also cool. Now I feel like I can't
this
do
is
it.
month one.
You know what I mean?
My question is what you going to do month two? Because if I do the same thing that I kept doing, we never readjusted the approach. So I get the struggle. So the part of being help me, okay, yeah, we help us at the moment, but okay, got to work it out. But then and then my part two is don't limit. It's just a lost cause. No, I make phone calls. Okay, I'm making phone calls to get extension. The only extension that got extended. Okay, go Lord, work it out. But my thing is, if you figure out, okay, this is a situation, because I know people who are in ministry who are a man's man, who are leaders, who just so happen in the scheme of things, dang, I forgot to do the electric bill. Just in all that, I got the cable, all this stuff, ABCD, MG, but how did I forget to do this. Okay, granted. Okay, cool. So then you need a better system in handling the funds.
Right.
So as a help leader, you should be developing a better system to execute what needs to be done to maintain the house. Now, like I told you, I'm in a different season. Now, welcome to the life of the preacher, which I don't like. For back of my family, if you have to already. Because the Lord will require me to snatch from home to support the vision that He's told me to have.
Yeah.
There are moments, and now you can care less. You can get your therapy, you can get your cousins in them, your auntie them. But there are moments. But that season does change where the house of God becomes self-sufficient when you execute what He told you to do properly. But I understand that the house will sometimes have to take a hit. But you have to know who you're connected to, who you're with. I know what logic says. I know what the principles of life says.
Yeah.
But can you handle the things that's going to challenge your marriage? Like that.
But that's when you have to know that you are married to the right person.
Listen.
Because if you're not married to the right person, that level of humanity and that level of spiritual sacrifice is gonna break up your marriage.
Yeah.
Because if you're not married to the right person, they're not gonna understand the call and demand on your life. They may be frustrated.
It might break or build.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't know until you're in it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't realize. For example, just recently, I told testimony on Sunday with my wife. Sometimes you got to see faith in action. You got to see it not making sense, frustrating you.
Right.
Or I don't want to live like this. Then God showing up, because sometimes it takes this. And if you're not the right mate or the right companion, it can definitely break you. Oh no, that's not for me. Granted, and it may not be. Thank you for what you've given me thus far. I still got to do the work of the kingdom at whatever cost. That's just why when Paul said, it is easier to serve God by yourself, because you can take sacrifices, you can take risks that only affect you and what you got. But if you can't marry, if you can't not burn, marry. But when you get into marriage, it's not just you, it's you and her. It ain't just you and her, it's you, her, and the kids. So everything that has to happen doesn't only affect you now.
Right.
Which doesn't negate the fact that you still ain't got to make sacrifices that will hurt the family.
Right.
But because you're connected to this is what it takes for this season. It don't last like this always.
For sure.
Yes, I'll be a millionaire. Yes, I'll be rich. But take these hard days. Take these low budget days.
No, for real.
And what we gonna do? How we gonna respond? Take the eviction notice. Take the bills due. But babe, you want me to give you an answer?
Right.
I got faith. But babe, it don't make sense. Why didn't you? Because He told me He'll take care of me. But just He
Right.
He told me. I don't know. I just tell my mom all the time, like, I don't have an answer for you concerning the current struggle that I'm in. Because God told me to do a thing and I did a thing. I'm gonna leave a job for the Lord. God said, come on, God, again? Gone. And He sustained me. He got to do it again. But that's going to be hard for a companion,
Right.
who doesn't understand that level of faith and believing and that experience.
Right.
With the expectation that, yeah, we're going to have money, but not realizing what the process is going to take to be efficient with the money when it's released. So, can God trust you? Child, please, let me give you a donut. That's a lot. So, this is a long break. Be back in 7 minutes.
How do you take the live off of private, bro? Because I'm on there now, and it's coming up blocked on another platform.
It's blocked on.
So I shared the video on Western New York Bulletin,
Mm-hmm.
and they just messaged me and said that it's coming up. Content not available.
They might not be available. Whoever's in here might be stuck in here. They might heard the music, but I can't stop it.
Okay.
So you can probably share the the YouTube link.
Okay.
Ow! Facts.
Oh, we're blocked. Okay.
Yes, I did. I figured it out. That's just because the music playing, but I'm not gonna stop it now because we're also on YouTube. So.
Wait, blocked on Facebook?
Yeah.
They cut us off?
Yeah.
Well, these music, these headphones, they seep through sometimes.
Gotcha. Alright. That's stupid. Anyway. Arrested for disorderly conduct. Who cares? Nicki Minaj shares her cable.
Oh yeah, the reason why I see it because I'm on the page.
They picked up a song.
Right, it has no
All the
artist. I was talking
Janet. They're saying we still going on Facebook.
You see it?
Stop doing it right now. Stop doing it right now.
Or Facebook.
I don't know.
No, you don't. You don't. Because let me keep going up. We still here.
Cause this coming up. Okay, let me try. I'm gonna share this. Share these.
I don't know what their restrictions are in the group though. I don't know what their limitations are. Maybe is it just limited to flyers and short videos, not lives? I don't know.
Well, I've shared it every day on their page.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
So.
Okay. I'm still here over here. I think
Got me twisted. Yo, this is the controversial thing I was about to say. Though.
Yes, go ahead. Say it.
Keep Sweat can't sing.
What?
Keep Sweat just be saying stuff out his nose.
I got what you need.
No.
But that's the thing. Most people who don't know they can't sing, no, they can't sing. Like T-Boz has came out and said that she knows she can't sing. Like she made it clear. She was like, when they did the group, she was like, "Are you sure?" Because I know I can't sing. Like, and we was like, we agree with you.
It's just like, yeah, but you know, you gotta now if you say I like Keith Sweat, I like his unique sound, that's different because I'm like, okay, his sound is different. How his words come out, how he enunciates is definitely different. But I will not say that Keith Sweat can sing. And nobody can tell me that Keith Sweat can sing.
But the same thing with Barry White. Barry White really didn't sing.
I mean Barry White's at the deep central drop your panties. Drop your panties.
Everything. He literally talked
Yeah.
in the sing-songy voice.
Barry White
had the drop your panties voice. You know?
Yeah.
Barry White was the big paparazzi. Like, he just like
my first, my last.
He was out here giving it. You know, but you know, he had a band though, like an orchestra though. He had something different. He had musical ear talent, like he was doing stuff. You know?
Oh, Derek, are you failing as a cousin right now? She said Mary J too. Mary J.
Mary J really can't.
Mary J can sing.
Mary J can sing.
This is gonna be controversial.
No,
Because,
Mary J can sing for real.
have you heard her do No More Drama? Like, have you seen Mary? Like, Super Bowl should have taught you that Mary J can sing.
I feel like she's a Mary. I think she's a talk tone.
Not a Mary.
Like they didn't like you ain't gotta take it all in. Like the very first.
She can, Erica. I'm gonna fight you with it. You and Marquise, y'all both think that Mary J can't sing. I've heard
but y'all say people that think Beyonce can sing, and I'm like, no,
And those are the same people that think Mariah Carey can sing.
Mariah Carey got range.
Mariah Carey used to be able to sing. She used to have people with kids.
Present day Mariah Carey cannot sing.
Right.
Mariah, Vision of Love Mariah, she can sing.
I feel like 19-year-old.
1990s Mariah can sing.
Like I don't think Beyonce can sing.
Beyonce can sing, but she's also an entertainer.
Nobody can tell me that she's
a great performer.
Nobody gets to be like, yo, Beyonce, fire. I'm like, no.
She's just a super dope performer.
But no, she's
a great performer.
She's a vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
She's a great performer.
She's a vocalist, but her ability to entertain heightens the fact that she's a vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you go to a J Hud concert, she may not dance and do all that stuff, but J Hud is gonna blow your eardrums out for 2.5 hours.
That's what I'm saying. Like Jasmine Sullivan, she can sing. Like I can sit there and be like, oh, Jasmine about to sing.
Now why do you just like
even though she is about to talk about men.
I don't think everybody that can riff can sing.
Oh no. Everybody go good.
I feel like every good song.
Rance Allen, he can't sing with that voice, and then he all over the place.
Every good song got a good riff section in there.
Really?
Rance Allen, he riffed for a whole He riffed for a whole minute. He riffed for a whole minute in the song. I don't think he can sing, but you know he.
Ren's got tone. Ren's got, he's a miracle worker. Yeah, Ren's got a little tone.
I don't think everybody
got Jesus.
that can
That's
sing
enough for Red. Okay.
Because I don't think everybody that can sing can riff though.
No, I don't think so either.
Coming in right now because we forgot.
I said the time going down.
Fire 716, your boy Big Frank, lucky the Big Frank in the morning. What it is, what's up? We still in the room. It is currently 9 minutes past the top of the hour. It is 23 degrees on the outside. Get where you got to go.
You are late.
You late. Listen. So, hot topics real quick. Anthony Anderson and his wife filed for divorce.
Yes. After 20,
You
20,
know what? You know what it was? The issues.
Issues.
It's too many issues. And that's not.
Y'all doing another ish?
It's the last season. That's no excuse.
Well, you know, them seasons take time. It take your time, commitment.
The only possible ish that may continue is Grown-ish because of the last episode.
Him and what's the name about to get together? I'm making that up.
That couldn't happen because Tracy Ellis Ross don't want to get married. She don't want to.
But getting together, getting married is two different things. Okay,
True.
Okay. I'm not saying that's the case, but it won't be surprised.
Well, you know, I know who her mother is. I know who her mother had the kid with. So,
But yeah, no, unfortunate. But they said it was mutual, so maybe they just outgrew each other.
No, absolutely. He outgrown, grown-ish. I'm just
You are aggravating.
All right. So also Samuel Jackson received his first Oscar after doing 150 movies.
I say,
Cool.
no more Oscars.
Right,
We're
because
not going to be invited.
right. I mean, prior to the recent Oscars, there's only been maybe 25 black people honored at the Oscars.
Because, I think Whoopi Goldberg was the first black woman to get the EGOT,
right?
But it's basically all the awards, all of them.
This shit.
Yeah, she got the Emmy, the Oscar, the Grammy.
the EGOT.
The EGOT. Yeah.
The EGOT.
So yes, I think Whoopi Goldberg was the first black woman to do that, and another black individual just got the EGOT as well. So we sprinkled in there, but after these recent events.
Right, because
it's gonna be Beyonce and Jay-Z.
But shout out to my boy.
And Questlove. Questlove got an Oscar as well.
Oh, congrats!
I'm gonna say this.
That boy.
I'm not saying people don't deserve it, but I'm just saying this is an Oscar. Let's get this out to people. Let's go ahead. No matter what the votes are,
right?
Let's go ahead and give the black.
Well, no, because Questlove got it for production and music.
He got it for music.
No, but I'm just saying. I just feel like this Oscars was just. It was so black that it felt like, you know what, this Oscars, let's go ahead and celebrate. Let's give the majority to the minority.
Fact. So then for the next 25 years,
we will not be invited back.
Right.
But then shout out to my boy Samuel though, because he has deserved it
for a very long time. He should have got it for the negotiator.
But it's good to know
Pulp Fiction
that my level of creativity. Or keep going to this. I mean that up. Isn't defined by whether you acknowledge me or not.
Right, sure.
Legit.
And he got it in the most iconic way. Denzel presented it. That's the best. If you're gonna get an award,
get it from your brother.
Denzel was like, "Man."
But my question is though, this is Frank.
And then I just think it's messed up because it didn't get shown on TV.
Because the one.
No, but
I am legend.
I'm just saying.
No,
it's messed up because for somebody that has deserved it for so long, he couldn't even get the public recognition.
No, they knew Samuel was going to drop a whole other month.
But let's talk about it because somebody decided they couldn't handle the emotional status at that moment. Outshine.
No, he got it as an honorary award. That's why he didn't. That's why it wasn't public. Honorary awards aren't given on the live show.
And even that's
Questlove's wasn't given on the show.
Because had there not been the situation between the Will and the Chris, the news would have been we might have been some honoring Oscars. That what happened. But right now, who's headlining? Right now, who's the shine? Chris Rock and Will Smith, the smacker, dacker, and receiver. Okay, all right. They say now I will give him credit for a legit apology to Chris Rock from Will Smith. Because what you gave at the Oscars was not authentic, period. That was for the people. Granted, this one was to Rock, and Chris Rock did in return apologize as well. Kudos to y'all. But the damage has been done. Now, enough said. Enough said. The damage has been done. Now, here deal with the consequences of this. But I'm checking for the Oscars going forward. Sure. Just because you done came out and gave we had our Black History Month with y'all. What about the rest? Now, for the next 5, 15 years, as we continue to produce excellence, you better provide the same type of energy. And whoever gets smacked, gets smacked. Give Kanye a chance.
But speaking of your boy, though, they're boycotting him not doing Coachella. Just want to drop that in before we go off property.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Really? It's fine.
That got nothing to do with nothing. They pushing.
This happened like it became public about the Coachella because they did this a while ago. It became public about Coachella after his talk show back here.
Yeah.
But it just became public like they're boycotting him doing Coachella.
Kanye got his own Coachella.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
Kanye would have his own Coachella. Like, what's Kanye would have his own Coachella?
Come on,
Coachella. Right across the street.
But yeah, like, you know, whatever happens now, because they can announce that, you know,
by out the way first, like that,
investigating Will Smith and stuff like that. So whatever smoke that comes after that,
you gotta deal with that.
Will gotta deal with that. You know what I'm saying? But from now on, Black people gonna be virtual at the
and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna be this person. If you feel that your husband needs to smack somebody publicly to defend you,
you're the problem.
You're toxic.
You're the problem. If I am ever in a situation where I gotta put my hands on another person because of you, we have a problem.
What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So we'll be back. Watch us on Facebook and YouTube. Is going down on fire. So let's go.
We are not doing this today. We are not. As a grown man, no matter how mad your wife is, as a grown man, you had to make the conscious decision to get up and smack him. You had to do it, so don't put that on Jay.
No, my beef is, absolutely not. Because right now, the women are saying, I need me a Will. Because my man got to stand up for me.
And I feel like that's the wrong mentality to have.
I understand that the man needs to stand up for you. Number two, I also believe that you're broken and you're hurt and you're damaged because men haven't stood up for you.
That's the wrong mentality to have.
Because as a real man, I would love to tell you I can think of the moment and just snap and have my moment, but this may impede upon the peace in my household for long term. Now I got to go cry. I got to see my face out here. Now Will Smith has already been through damage, smacked the man to stand up for his wife. Now he's about to go home and go through all this scrutiny all over again about him, Will and Jayla. They're pulling up August in the past because of the decision that was made by his choice in the moment to defend somebody.
We forgot all about that.
Red Tape come back up. Now he going through depression and hard times. Now he crying. He got King Richard on his heart. He can't even focus. His kids trying to support him. Now they gonna die. Can we support you?
Now you gonna get kicked off Disney.
Come on, too much. Just put this like and your piece at home.
And the thing that's crazy is, and there's a thing that I know I brought this up.
I'm gonna stop yelling.
I brought this up yesterday when I had a conversation with my woman. I was like, no one sees it this way because he has money. Even if all his stuff stopped, Jada still got money. He still got money. As far as them financially and issues that they could have that would affect regular people, they're not going to have those issues because they have money. But at the same time, you can't expect a man to be all willy-nilly like that all the time, especially in certain situations. Yeah, maybe you need to put his hands on somebody. If somebody put their hands on you or anything like that, I get that. You know what I mean? But just off of words or because somebody made a joke or things like that. Like, if Will Smith ain't had no money and Will Smith would have slapped Chris Rock, Will Smith be in jail, Will Smith be paying fines, Will Smith family will be after a couple months.
I told you this last yesterday. I'm suing you. I'm suing you for
it. And like I said, Chris Rock is better than me.
Medical.
I still call bullshit. I do. I call bullshit because he should have took his assets up there and smacked him. Like, that's my thing. No matter what, because if you saying the same women that I want me and Will's the same women that was saying everything was relationship goals. They don't. And I ain't got nothing to do with them. But the fact that you, as a grown assets man, made a decision, because I'm not gonna cuss. You a grown assets man, made a decision as you were walking up there, you could have turned around and sat back down. The fact that you
He could
sit
have walked up there and talked to him.
right.
That's what I
The fact that you
I
smacked him.
said that same thing.
You a grown man, and I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care how much of a discouraging look your wife gives you. It gives you no license to get up there and smack somebody and then put it on the woman. Because obviously that face, Jada been making that face that whole time they've been together. You ain't smacked nobody yet. So all of a sudden now you want to smack. And I granted from a mental health point of view, because I'm a therapist, I understand the break.
Okay.
But
Okay.
what we not gonna do is be like, oh, Jada is a lot. No. At the end of the day, he still made a decision.
No,
He's still
we're not
making
gonna
a
get a
decision.
decision, but watch it.
I'm not putting nothing on the woman. I already told you how I feel.
And Frank
I told you how I feel.
But Frank
I already told you how I feel about
because
Will.
I have to be honest.
Will messed it up.
As a husband, she's a part of me.
Facts.
I understand the fact that this didn't hit I comprehend the fact that this joke, this comment, didn't hit my wife well. And because it didn't hit my wife well, therefore, though I laughed initially, it's a joke.
Right.
Tag that disturbed my wife, which now triggers for me. Not for her, not for anything. It triggers for me another level where I snapped and I made a decision. But my wife is a part of who I am. And when
Well, people have offended Tyra, but you ain't smacking all the church people at the church.
I have no idea what conversations I've had. I have no idea.
I said you said conversation. I said
Because-
people may have offended
but pay attention to who you're
Tyra for
talking
being
to.
a part of you,
What's who you
but
talking
you ain't smacking people
But what
at
are
the
you
church.
talking to? Because like I told you, if I was in his position, I still wouldn't have smacked Chris Rock. I would have easily would have walked up there, had yo, keep my name, keep my wife's name. Out your mother. Okay, whatever.
Right.
Say it again. That's what I'm gonna say.
Right.
Now, number one. Number two, there's a backstage at the end of this.
Yeah.
It's a phone call easy. Yo, listen, I need you to pull up real quick. I want you to go ahead and sit. Because I still got cousins. I still got people in my family. Yo, real quick. In the report you'll hear, I'm sorry for the man of God. In the report you'll hear, Chris Rock got jumped after the Oscars. We don't know. Say like that. Okay? And are you going to whisper his key? Jay's name out your mother. All you're going to have as a witness is your words against everybody. I have no idea what he's talking about. That was crazy. I don't know how he came up with that story. But Jolie
But
Mollett.
even what I'm saying is, even in Tyra's hurt, for somebody that might have said something to offend Tyra, even in her hurt, you didn't say in your mind, oh, I'm about to smack the life out of this person. You said, I'm going to handle this a different way.
But
and that's what I'm saying for Will. Even in her disappointment in the joke, whether he laughed before he went crazy or not, even in the relationship, he had to make a conscious decision.
Right.
Even in her defense, he could have been like, he could have been you and said, I'm gonna deal with this later.
He could have, but he's not me.
Could've.
He's Will. Yeah.
But his extreme behavior, what I'm saying is, because of her, he said it. I am not responsible for Jada's peace. I'm not responsible for her happiness.
That's
what he said.
But he said that. Watch this. He started talking all that I'm not responsible for while she was playing with August and all the people. When Will Smith started doing those little clips and videos, he was trying to get away from the fact that he was finding out that Jay was out here doing what she was doing, whatever.
After he was doing what he was doing.
Right. So, but mind you, they both kept doing what they was doing together. But mind you, that when he came out with these videos of fake encouragement for us was a way for him to escape from the fact that he was facing a real dilemma at home.
They were recorded before the whole situation was off.
No, that's before we got to it. Mind you, that we found out about August later on. But while it was happening, they already knew. August came out later on. And the house knows before the world comes out. I said, oh, now it makes sense. Because prior to this moment, Will wasn't doing any kind of videos. TikTok wasn't even popping, none of that. He wasn't out doing videos. He was just where he was at, doing what he was doing. Like interviews, like conversations. But these videos like consistently. JC Derulo just doing stuff. Talking about encouragement, doing stuff. Staying busy. And at the time, it didn't make sense. I was just coming out. Mm-hmm. But then when all the stuff about August stuff started coming out, I said, oh, now it makes sense. I'm just saying it as an observer. I know as a man is going to pursue somebody, when a man is present and when he's gone. Because when a man is present, you don't post as much. Facts. You always you about you and your man, y'all going. But the moment that y'all posting a lot, I can realize y'all just broke up. Y'all broke up. Y'all stop talking right now. Because you posting every day. I ain't seen you this much on my timeline since a year ago. So I'm not blaming Jada as the woman, but I'm telling you how the man. Listen, this is a part of who I am.
Right.
So those period. It's like if you disrespect Tyra, I might laugh. It's going to affect me. Now how I respond is on me. Period. What decision I make to address it? She might want me to go up there and smack somebody with a good old backhand. It might feel good for the moment, but now they're going to question me as the pastor, as the elder. Oh, not Frank. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have my human. He had a moment. I got you. But here we go. Good spoken, evil of. Given a reason.
And this is my biggest thing, and also one of my biggest irons, and one of my biggest issues that I was having. I was like, Will Smith is somebody that people looked up to. I was like, the fact that he just went off and just hauled off and slapped somebody on public, and then there had to be another black man. I was like, that affects all black men.
Yeah,
because we're all seen in one lens, regardless of whatever the black man felt, whatever man, woman, child feel about it. As a black man, I will not be refuted on this. Is that as black men, we are seen as a collective of people. If one black man that is seen as a great black man does something, I understand he's human. I understand he a person. I understand he has emotions. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, you need to understand, and I know he understand. He was born in West Philly. He ain't stupid. Yeah. He understand how black people are seen. He know better. You don't just call off and just start wilding. Yeah. No matter how much money you got. Know why? Because you make all other black people look bad. Now, I could go in for an interview tomorrow, and I could not get that job because Will Smith met Chris Rock the other day. And he don't see it that way. But I see it that way because I know better. Because I'm there. And a lot of people want to argue with me about it, and it's like, you can't argue with me about it. I don't want to hear you gotta, and don't get me wrong, yes, we need to defend our black women and all that, but I don't want to hear we gotta defend our black women at all costs. I don't want to hear, man, you gotta defend your wife at all costs. I don't want to hear none of that, because when it comes to your people, when it comes to the people in which you represent as somebody in authority and having some kind of power and some kind of viewership in that way, just like with the Tyler Perry and saying the smoking thing, you have a responsibility to your people to not be stupid. It's fine to make mistakes because we're human. It's fine to do it's fine to do dumb stuff every once in a while. You Will Smith be silly. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But to totally go out of character and to straight up do wrong, and I ain't talking about cheating. I'm talking about straight up do wrong against the law, whatever it is, you affect all of us.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
And I don't like, and it aggravates me so much because I've had this conversation with one or two people, and they continue to try to talk me out of this way of thinking, and I'm like, you can't talk me out of this way of thinking. I'm not trying to take you out of your way of thinking. What I said on Facebook is what I said on Facebook. The only difference between us and Will Smith is that he is famous and he was on camera. Because everybody in this room has done something either illegal or something that could have set black people back if they hadn't been caught on camera. The only difference is we weren't on camera. And for us to have like this, I'm not defending Will's actions whatsoever. And I'm not saying that he is innocent or that he didn't make black people look bad. But the point is he had a human moment and walked in human error. And instead of expecting Will to be this person, he's a good guy, he does see Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the expectation and then the realization happened at the Oscars. We expect Will to be perfect. He showed us his human side, and now the world is shocked. He's human.
But just required. Which means that because of the fact,
I don't see him as being perfect. Right. I don't want him to be perfect. Because the fact I want him to be, I don't even want him to be just. I want him to be responsible. And nobody want to talk about responsibility. Yeah. And you have Will Smith, Samuel Jackson, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, as a black man with authority, with money, with power, you have a responsibility, not just to yourself, not just to your family, but to your people.
And
as a black man.
yeah, but let me answer that because the fact is that because granted it wouldn't have been on TV if it's not us. Granted, it makes sense. But you can't denote because we're not on the sitcom. We don't have that kind of weight and responsibility.
Right.
But Will Smith does. And because you're in the limelight, it comes with a greater responsibility. And because of that, when you do fall, when you do err, when you do, whether it's your responsibility or not, it's going to be highlighted greater. I'm not disappointed. I'm not OD mad at you, Will. I'm not going to stop supporting you, Will.
Right.
I'm not going to shut you down, Will.
Right.
But your behavior in this situation could have been better. But granted, even in your humanity, it could have been better.
Right.
But because of the fact that you hold the weight that you hold, just as Denzel, just as Samuel, just as Dave, they hold a different tier and weight because not only do they affect just their inner city or their hood and their family, they affect the world because the world's eye is on them, and that's a load to carry.
Right.
And it's a heavy load to carry, no matter what you do. Okay, we take the same vocabulary words you just used for Will and you apply it to my boy Kanye. If the world wasn't watching him, aggressively had the eye out on him for real, nobody would really care as much.
Right.
I said it would care at all.
But I would never say that. I would never say that Will Smith's actions wasn't abusive.
Yeah.
The same way I still say that what Kanye was doing was abusive. Both actions I still view them in an abusive way. I really do. And I will never say that Will Smith was better than Kanye because both of their behaviors are abusive and reckless. It is what it is. But what I'm saying is, I think we as celebrity culture, we do this person got to be this, and this, and this, and it's even when oh my God, Meryl Streep. I think Meryl Streep went public about some mental health struggles that she was having. The world's like, oh my God, but it's Meryl Streep. But she still got mental health issues. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with Jennifer Lewis.
I don't see no wrong.
But no, what I'm saying is, in this culture, celebrities can't have nothing wrong with them. And even when Jennifer Lewis went public about her mental health, it was oh my God, Jennifer Lewis got mental health issues, but she's this. No,
I don't think anybody has an issue.
It's not celebrity's fault. No, I'm gonna tell you why. Because what's portrayed to us. I'm gonna tell you about Hollywood. I'm gonna say this, Jamin.
Go ahead.
Will Smith isn't Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Right.
Will Smith isn't I Am Legend. That's not who he is. Right. That is somebody acting a part.
Right.
Now,
he ain't Ali based on that fact.
He's not. No fact. But and I'm gonna dislike me if you will. But I'm about to go. Bill Cosby isn't the Huxtable.
Right.
As actors, we presented an image to you. Okay. As people, we've carved out an idea of what you should be, but that's not reality. Right. Women always been a fighter, always been a puncher and a hitter, and we haven't seen that part. Okay, we haven't seen that part of him. We always display Will in this light. We always cast in the movies in this light. We don't know. Denzel might be a little cusser at home, just loose, believing in God and just cutting out cousins, smoking weed, and he might be a drunk. But we are displayed with the imagery of him in this life.
But this is my thing. No one has a problem with you being human.
Right.
You could be human in your way. Nobody care. But when you out-represent, my thing is when you out-representing us, you have a responsibility to represent us. When he was out in public at the Oscars, he was being Will Smith the brand. He wasn't being Will Smith.
That's
Will Smith from Philly.
But so I'm gonna use the same case for Bill Cosby though.
Same thing with Bill Cosby.
But same with Bill Cosby. I don't have a problem with Dr. Huxtable. I have a problem with a man poisoning women and raping them. Whether you are Bill Cosby or not, I'm not going to support you as a person who's a rapist. I don't care about the work that you've done. Some people he is very guilty.
This is what we like.
Some people like Beverly Johnson.
5716, your boy Frank Left and Big Frank in the mornings. Going down this morning. Listen, conversation is hot. We talk about Will, we talk about Eddie Anderson, we talk about Rico. But listen, let me tell you about this guy right here, okay? A Hillsong Dallas pastor,
Yes.
Reed,
Pastor Reed.
secretly accused of rape by junior staffer.
By a junior staffer. So a Hillsong pastor.
How are you secretly accused?
Well,
But it's not. Go ahead.
well, no, like how the initial rape was secret, like was
Oh.
said in secret, but Larry Reed breaks everything.
Yeah.
But no, so the Hillside Dallas pastor Reed is accused now of raping his junior assistant, and this is another hit for Hillsong Church because this is not the first rape allegation.
Between rape and racism in your lyrics.
And, like it's a Hillsong Church has taken a lot of hits, especially with sexual assault allegations in the last.
You know that Catholicism sometimes you just can't shake it. That's absolutely not.
And shout to the Lord, all the earth, and other people will shout. So
just to prove that all cultures have their
problems.
it's the pastor thing. Like in the last couple of weeks, we have broke like 10 stories of pastors out here just having sex and raping.
Do better.
Jesus is surely to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come quick.
No, not that quick. I got things.
Well, a day is 1,000 years. So
I got
quick.
Buffalo News: 2 people in custody following robbery in a vehicle crash.
Yeah, so they were
To a furniture store on Genesee Street
in Oak.
I don't know.
Yeah, they crashed
I didn't know it was over the
on Genesee and Oak Street.
That job is a furniture store.
It's a furniture store. That somebody crashed into the furniture store. The police is looking for some information. So if you know anything, go ahead and say something. But the 2 accused of the robbery, they were robbing the place and then crashed the car. So that's how they got
I was just saying, when you meant to go and drive, and you went in reverse. I
can't tell that story. Once upon a time, I was nervous and just the cops pulled up. I just could. My navigation of escaping I was embarrassed. I was like, I am not doing it. I would have been caught. It's over. Like I could reverse right. I was running into dead ends. I'm like, I am not.
It's not working out.
Yeah, it's not working out. So sometimes when you're nervous, your cognitive layout just be off. I'm not really a good criminal like I used to be. But listen,
and that's a good thing.
Just
the things that go.
I just remember that.
You
And
went out here.
the person that was looking was just like, what's wrong with you?
Yo,
Like,
you good?
Clearly, you are not the person we're gonna be riding the car with. We've been crying. You're not driving.
Listen, let's go down this board. We get back into our final thought, man. Listen, follow us on Facebook and on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share. Also, make sure you download the Fire 716 Radio app. For advertisement, hit me up. 716-371-2780, extension number 2. So much going down. Listen, just be ready. We won't get Translation, we'll be out here this summer. Links all over the place. It's going down. Big Frank in the morning on fire. 716 Big Frank in the morning.
Yeah. It kind of just makes you nervous about pastors in this season. Just out here touching people they're not supposed to be touching. Messing with people they're not supposed to be.
One of the first things my mom taught me keep your feet on the floor.
But Hillsong has taken it. Like Hillsong Church has taken a lot. Like there's been a lot that has happened.
And they got some good songs, so
but it makes sense. It makes sense though, because real trauma produces real worship.
And I'm like, so did R. Kelly. He had good music too. Yeah. In wisdom, I'm so happy I put one of these classes on pass fail because it would have just messed up my whole GPA. like that one class that you just know you probably gonna barely pass. Like, it's not gonna mess my GPA. Go put that on pass fail real quick. Girl trying to graduate with honors. You ain't about to mess up my GPA. And that class would have messed it up.
Aid to Ukraine.
It would have dragged my GPA.
Good morning. All is well. Come to just working things out. Period. How's everything going with you?
The life of a pastor. That's it right there. So A minus.
Oh my
God. So I'm gonna let the beat drop.
Okay.
And then what professor, she just ain't put the grades in. I would just need, like, I don't think my professors realize how much I stalk my grades because it's like April will leave me like a little over a month to like pull things up. So I'm like, I'm gonna need you to assess these grades real quick. So I need to know how much effort I need to put in for the next couple of weeks. Like, cause I got like a good solid 9 weeks, not even. Like 6 weeks left? Not even. What is this?
We're in March. April tomorrow.
Yeah, April tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Dang,
we in week 9 or week 10, so I got like what 4 or 5 weeks left.
That's crazy.
I need to know if I need to put extra effort
April
somewhere.
too.
No, fact. You know, he's a lot.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. Crazy.
We've had a lot going on.
Right. Good song, you know.
It just makes me sad.
I pray for the church.
We have great expectations because of the worship band song. They're still,
I ain't gonna lie, they were just crazy though. I ain't gonna lie.
they still
Just because, like, it's for me.
That don't mean that you can't worship. That means just because y'all doing wrong, you doing wrong, make your worship more real. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I know I'm doing wrong. Like, I need you.
How long was Junior Stafford? I need you to do it.
Like that just makes me hurt because as a leader, how you taking advantage of leadership, and that's what hurts. Because I just be like,
I
my heart hurts in situations.
Condone. I gotta say this in church properly.
Don't get us canceled.
Right.
Don't get us canceled, bro.
Raven's rate. Junior Stafford is what? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is it 6, 9, 12? These makes difference. Where you spending most of your time at, if not at home? Because let's show you how the storyline goes. Okay, be who I am. Forgive me for those who get offended. Quote unquote, say you do the work of the Lord, but what happens is that you got clout with your assignment. You get clout with the oil. You get clout with the things that you are a part of in the ministry and in church. You're doing that. You're out here doing that. Boom, but not home is neglected. So you and your wife is never really on the best of terms. I said that this is the cause of the case. This is just the reality of what it is. That I'm caught up, and now here I am, consistently in the presence of. Watch. I'm gonna say this word: temptation. Yeah. And whether you want to call it, like I said, I don't know the issue of the age of the staff, and whether it's going to be pedophilia, as in rape, age gap, as in rape, connection and being in the presence of everybody. That's why you got to be careful how you counsel, when you counsel, and the way you counsel, and whose presence you're in. And you have to be honest with your own weaknesses and address those, and have a conversation with your companion and your wife, because you can get caught up in something. You definitely can. And thinking it's okay. No, it's not at all. You guys, and then I hate. I'm gonna be my own discoverer. I'm gonna be my own investigator. I need Junior Stafford. Hello, this is Frank President. I want to get your side of the story and the details of what it is and what it looks like. Junior Stafford, not validating anything. Junior Stafford is what age?
Junior Stafford is usually between 16 and 18.
So,
depending on denomination,
right?
Because like some places they'll have like younger people working that can like legally work, so that can range between 14 and 17.
Knowing that makes really a difference because you're guilty, period. Right. But it adds more content to the situation. Because when you say rape, are we raping aggressively?
Right.
You said no. Are you raping because it was consensual, but age difference was rape? Not validating either or, but does add context to this story.
So really getting to what the
problem was. Absolutely. And he's guilty. He's wrong either way. Just you grow up, man. Please cut it out. But counseling, having a conversation, and getting too comfortable, and building the wrong connection, whether with ill intent, can create a scenario where you find yourself in this predicament. Not even across the board. I've always been taught, when it comes out of counseling women, door open, somebody just leaves me in the hallway. You can get the content of the conversation necessarily because of the fact that it's their story. But hey, can you, Bishop my apostle, listen for can you come to? All right, I'm at the church. I'm out here. Boom. Right. Yeah, I'll talk because you want to dismiss any. It's twofold. You don't want to dismiss any accusations that could assume out of this. People do set you up, and also if you even have that temptation to even engage, there's an accountability out the door. All right, we go. There's scenarios. That's once again. I'm just in this now generation. I just require more content to storyline.
Instead of just saying he's a predator.
Right.
I get what you're saying.
And how aggressive that is. Is he wrong? 100%.
Absolutely.
Give those consequences, not knocking that. But the storyline has to be, let's not, everybody's not a vicious monster.
Right.
Everybody's not.
It just makes it look bad because this is like the 5th or 6th story out of Hillsong Ministries of pastors out here doing records. Different pastors. Because Hillsong has different churches.
Oh, bunch.
Yeah, they're kind of like how
What you call it is?
So it's the franchise.
like the church that we have around here, how they have different locations.
But it makes sense to me though, because if we come to a branch,
the chapter
where we have been teaching and training, and this is not been taught or trained, but this is something that I've been aware of that has happened in ministry, and the other leaders came out okay. Right. I'm aware that it happened. This thing would happen to me, but I found myself caught up into it. But I can relate to the fact that this has happened to other places. Just like there's certain ministries who have produced bad men bad for marriages, good for ministry, bad for marriage. Right. I know that it wasn't my goal to become a bad husband, but I know that these are the challenges that's been congruent and consistent within those that's been developed, trained, and launched out. Those who have broke the mold. And that's just a real conversation when it comes down to developing other people. That you have to, I'm saying this for those who are listening who are going into leadership, you have to have people who are designed to handle the load of a leader that knows how to take the meat, be a help, and leave the bone. Because without that, you'll take my humanity and try to validate it. No, this is not okay. I'm not telling you that's okay. But these are some of the weaknesses that I carry. That I need to be accountable to somebody who's not going to look at me funny, but address me.
But sexual abuse is wrong across the board.
No, sexual abuse is wrong.
But this is like the sexual abuse in ministry is nothing new. We have seen it in the Catholic Church. We have seen it in all kinds of churches. Like I said, for this particular pastor, I don't know if he's guilty or not. It's just like the narrative looks bad because this seems to be a regular thing among pastors with Hillsong. Like even with the situation when T.D. Jakes had that allegation against him, you know what I'm saying? Like it just looked bad because of who he is. So like I'm not saying he's guilty or not. I wasn't there, but like the narrative makes it seem like, dude, you probably guilty because a bunch of other pastors coming out of this denomination have also been sexually abusing kids or cheating on their wives or things like that. And
I say this because as much as that it doesn't happen, it can. Right. It can. I don't excuse it. I don't dismiss it. But there's a difference when you use the word rape. There's age rape, where there is consensual, but age range is rape alone. Right. But then versus aggressive, I said no, I'm not down rape, and then being cognitively appropriate mentally to engage into what you're doing, and then being manipulated or misused. There's one word with a plethora of details, definition that we haven't applied. Because very much so. I'm going to just go ahead and say this and just say it how I want to say it. Because she could have been 17. Could have been a boy. Huh? Boy, yeah. He could have been 17. Because, and I'm not telling you that, he could have been 17 and willing. Yeah, but the fact that he's 17 is not rape. Could be. I'm not saying that is. I'm not saying that's the case at all. I'm just saying I'm just not aware.
But even that, they bring up a whole another.
But no, why thing? Because now it's like no. Let's talk about it. Because
but if you're 17 and consistent.
Oh no, I was talking about him being born.
Let me tell you right now. Because right now based on the LGBTQ, coming in X and Y and Z. Because now,
Unplug myself.
because now we are pressured more so. Not saying that we're rejecting them, to embrace the diversity of all things now.
Yeah.
So everything is more welcome to be in my presence. Everything is more welcome, which now exposes me to my temptations to try and test everything. So whether he is or he wasn't, I don't know. I don't know the details.
Right.
But I'm just giving you that there's a variety of possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
As the details unfold, the conclusion is gonna be what it is. Is he wrong? Period.
From the story that I read, the young man confided in his mom about what happened, and she challenged the pastor, and she was like, "My son is saying that you did this to him," and then it broke. The news broke. It got big. See, this is the
Jesus.
but this is why everybody ain't called the ministry.
That's crazy.
Sometimes you just need to sit down and be a happy conversation.
Come on, ain't nothing wrong with that.
You know.
Sometimes I just go to the choir, you know?
Right.
Daughter's perverse and choir.
Exactly. You're not gonna get away from it. First, someone said your boy big friend, like the big Frank in the morning. What it is, but the conversation is hot. It got real. It got real sentimental.
Let me tell y'all, when you have a real relationship with people, you don't mind when they raise their voice at arguments. Like, because me and my brother, we will go toe to toe and the voice raising, and they'll be like, "Dude, I love you."
Nobody knows.
To the viewers, they be like, "Yo, they real abusive with each other." Not really. Like, this is how we look.
No. Definitely. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. We don't know to argue. I just like, I don't know why. It's the antagonist. And I used to do this with comedy. We gotta get out of here. I used to do this with comedy when I used to do with Mama Dia back in the day. I would just take what you just said to me and just flip it and just make it. How would you? I was in trouble with one lady did something, and I said, "Oh, your man cheating." Come to find out, he was. I said, "Oh, I didn't know."
The prophet's corner.
Our best friend was laughing. How did you know? I said, "No."
That's awkward.
But no, I definitely love I definitely love my sister.
We yell at each other.
Facts. But listen, what's your final thought? I don't think they got much around today. I think I'm tapped out. Dark Knight, what's the word for the people?
You have a responsibility that if you have some sorts of power in some place, because everybody is somebody somewhere, you have a responsibility to that power. If you misuse it or if you are acting out, it will affect the things in which you have power over.
Yeah.
You need to keep that in mind, right? Regardless of skin color, regardless of gender, it's important to always have in mind that you have responsibility to the people that are under you.
Gav?
Hey, a whole bunch of yelling today.
My final thought is go with the first thought. Don't second guess. Don't overthink it. Just go with that first thought.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, like, it'll leave you in like other areas. Like, or like this morning, I ran out of gas, and I told myself last night, go get some gas because you got to be up in the morning. And I ran out of gas this morning. So yeah, go with that first voice.
Jay Cherie?
Slap in private, pray in public. No, I'm just kidding. No, I do not condone violence of any sort. But no, seriously, when I said I'm about to make this work, I am. Slap the enemy, in public. But pray in private, because your private prayers is gonna cause you to slap the enemy in public. Yeah. No, seriously, no. But understand your influence, so that when you understand your influence, you will understand how you influence.
Come on, that's good.
Drops mic.
Here we go. You can do it, put your back into it.
Done.
Here we go.
You can do it, put your back into it. The truth of the matter is that you are more than capable to execute what needs to be done. You are equipped, you are qualified, you have everything that you need right there inside of you, but it's up to you to put your back into it. You got to put your strength into it. You got to put your effort into it. You got to push, you got to press, you got to fight, because the truth of the matter is that if you put your mind to it, you can legit get it done. The challenge is that some things and some people try to limit you and say, no, you can't, no, you don't qualify. Or sometimes we're looking other places trying to get validated by them. No, the truth is that it's in your step, it's in your stride. So I repeat, you can do it. Put your back into it. It's your boy Big Frank. It's going down right here on fire. 716. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Don't chase.
Because my worship.
Not worship.
My worship.
Back to the worship.
Because my worship.
Not my worship. It's worship.
Good morning, party people.
Not the not the worship. We back to the twerk shop. I thought we was over it.
Because your worship needs to be for real.
So, get a camera.